Hey everyone, welcome to Dapper Lighting. This is our RGB Halo installed in our 575 headlight, but the wiring will be the same for all of our headlights with the RGB Halo. This is the guide for the RGB Halo with the remote, non-Bluetooth setup. If you're looking for the Bluetooth guide, check out our other video. So let's walk through the setup. This is our 575 headlight with the RGB Halo. And you can see this halo wire goes to the white connector, which plugs into this white connector, which leads to the halo driver. From the driver, you will have 3 wires on this side. We have a turn signal input wire, a ground wire, and this connector. That connector will plug into this 4 connector harness, which allows you to control up to 4 halos. And finally, that harness goes into the remote receiver. Now that we've walked through it, let's take a second to wire all this up. We'll use a small screwdriver to open up both sides of the remote receiver. And then again use the screwdriver to open up the terminals which you will insert the wires into. And then tighten down. Make sure you have it secure enough to give it a gentle tug, but avoid over-tightening the hardware. You'll see on top of the terminal which color wires need to go where on the 4-wire side, and then which side needs to be power and ground on the other side. So let's plug in the halo connectors. That's nice and easy. Now we look at the halo driver. For the turn signal wire, you're going to use the included T-taps, these red connectors. So you'll find your turn signal power wire, carefully splice open the insulation of that wire without cutting the wire inside, then put the bare wire into the metal V in the connector as you clamp it down. Once you have that connector clamped onto the wire, you can plug it right into the connector on the turn signal wire from the halo. Now that the turn signal is done, we will do essentially the same thing with the ground wire. You can either use the turn signal ground wire or another wire that will provide a good solid ground. Now everything's connected, so let's turn it on using the power button on the remote. There we go. It should turn on to the default pure white mode. But of course, there are a number of other colors and modes, so we can switch to any pre-programmed color on there. Cyan, magenta, red, green, blue. You can also do different demo modes if you want it to cycle through and show off that RGB. It's a pretty intuitive and straightforward system to use with the remote. Okay, let's go back to pure white for a moment. So say you're pulling up to a red light, and you're ready to make a left turn. You go ahead and turn your turn signal indicator on. This light does have switchback built into it, so it automatically switches to the blinking amber light, and then back to whichever color you had it set to previously. Very easy to use. That sums up everything in this video. If you have any questions at all, shoot us an email at support@dapperlighting.com or give us a call at 833-DAPPER1. Thanks for watching.